today in this video, and I wanted you to see this clip, which you're about to see here in just a minute. But first I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of like an explanation, a little bit of history behind this video, just so you kind of understand what's going on. So in this video that you're about to see, this was taken about 8 or 9 years ago down in New Orleans, Louisiana, for the Southern Decadence Festival, which is pretty much like a big gay pride event where they shut down the French Quarter for everyone. It's just like a big street party for the gay people. And so it's like Friday, Saturday, it happens on Labor Day weekend, and Sunday they had the big parade through the French Quarter. And so we've been there many years and preached at this event and preached against their sin. So that's what you're fixing to see in this clip. That's where this is all taking place at. But this video in particular, it was my first year going down to New Orleans to preach this event. So I was 9 years old at the time, and I remember it like it was yesterday. It was always something that I had wanted to do. I'd wanted to get down in that area and preach because I had seen my dad go down in there, and I'd seen videos and watched, seen pictures and watched videos of the preachers going down in there and heard stories. And I just really wanted to go down in there and be able to see what it was all like and be able to preach there. And so this was my first time getting to go to that area. So I remember it like it was yesterday. But videos are, it is a neat thing to be able to look back now at 18 years old and say, man, I was 9 years old when that first took place. But what you're fixing to see is that first day, that was the first day that we had got down into the French Quarter to start our preaching for that weekend. And we had already preached in Jackson Square. And after that, we made our way to what we call the Sodomite area. So now, if you're not familiar with this area or preaching in that area, the Sodomite area, that spot, is one intersection down towards the end of Bourbon Street. And on each corner of the intersection is all gay bars. And once you go past that point, that's all it is. So you kind of have like a neighborhood, pretty much, area for these gay people. So that's all that's pretty much in that area. So after we had preached Jackson Square, and we were preaching to the people back there doing witchcraft and all that mess, we made our way back to the Sodomite area on Bourbon Street to preach there before we took our break and then continue preaching the rest of the night. So what we did, and is what you're fixing to see in this video, is we went down there, we got to the front right at the intersection, we preached, and then after we finished preaching, it was time to march through the crowd to get to the next street. Now this shows you how people react to good preaching or Bible preaching. They didn't want us to come through. Of course, they try to shove us out. They try to keep us out of their area. They hate the gospel. And so that's what you're fixing to see in this video. But this took place, Southern Decadence, New Orleans. I was 9 years old. So here's the video clip, and we'll see you on the other side. as we would call it, the Death March going down in that area of New Orleans. And that was pretty much my experience. I had a banner in my hands, you know, and my dad on this arm, he's got a video camera and he's sitting there holding my arm, trying to drag me through. And I had another preacher on this arm, you know, I'm sitting here holding the handles in my banner. And I have another preacher, you know, right here on this arm, and he's dragging me. So I remember, you know, clearly that my feet hardly touched the ground. I was pretty much having to be dragged straight through that crowd. You know, I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even stand up on my own 2 feet. That's how much pressure we were in and feeling on that street corner. Just walking through that crowd. These people, they didn't care that it was, you know, I was a kid, that I was small. You know, I'm sitting here just getting shoved around. They're trying to, you know, pick us off, trying to take us away from our preaching group. They do that so they can try to hurt you. So we were in the back of the group, and we were just catching all of the attention back there. And, you know, it was a very different, very exciting experience for me. It's something I'll never forget. But, you know, I look back on that, and I look back at it today, and I'm very thankful for it. I understand that I won't, you know, I've been there many times since then and walked through that same intersection, but nothing ever compares to that first time. That first time of hearing that crowd roar, and people may look and say, oh, well, you don't understand it if you've never been there, and you don't understand it if you're not into what we do on the streets. You know, it's something that I wouldn't trade for the world. You know, I really enjoy what I'm able to do, and I'm enjoying what God has given me and the opportunity that I have. You know, and I'm thankful that He has allowed me to have parents that have raised me to do these things, and they've taught me the right ways. You know, and I look back at that video now as an 18-year-old, and I'm still preaching. I still continue to do these things. I've been there many times since then. And I say that to brag on God allowing me to do these things and just using me. And, you know, it's something that I absolutely love. And I wanted to share this video with you. But I also encourage you to get out there and tell people the truth. You know, share your faith. You know, it's something that I've done ever since 4 years old. And, you know, I plan on doing this until I'm dead. And that's just the way it's going to be. Because I know my calling. I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And this is proof. You know, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity. You know, most people, I will say, most young men at 18 years old have already had, you know, their girlfriends, they're getting caught drinking, you know, doing drugs, stealing, you know, all these different things. But, you know, we were out preaching not too long ago, and a woman come up and she asked me, she says, she was cussing and all that, and I called her out on it, and she said, oh, you mean to tell me you don't ever do these things? And I say, actually, no, I don't do these things. And, oh, it looks like they just got slapped in the face. It comes as a shock to a lot of people to hear that we don't all have to live a wicked life. We don't all have to, you know, partake in these things. And I'm very thankful to be able to look and say that I was trained right, I was raised right, and I was, you know, be able to be put in these kind of positions to see how people react to the truth. They don't care if you're young or old. They hate the message. And so, you know, I'm going to continue to preach, you know, and I pray and hope that one day when I'm 30 or 40 or 50 years old, if God allows, I'll be able to look back at this video and say, that was my first time at 9 years old. So I'm going to try to go ahead. I didn't want to make this a very long video. Wanted to kind of keep it short. But this is just kind of the history, the backstory to this video, so you kind of understand what's going on. And that's kind of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.